It's a lot of fun. This is super uncomfortable to share because I do consider myself an artist. I did a 7-day sketchbook challenge to encourage you to do a 7-day sketchbook challenge, and it was bad. This is super uncomfortable to share because I do consider myself an artist and this is messy. So you don't need to share your sketchbook with anybody. But I'm sharing it today because I want you to know that even if you make art and sell it, having a creative practice is beneficial in so many ways. The goal of my 7-day practice is to take the pressure off and just create something and start exploring different styles to find my specific style. So I create art, but I have all kinds of different things that I make. I don't feel like I have a style. I'm going to be using this sketchbook and future sketchbooks to figure out what my style is and what I like doing. If you want to join me on this journey, please like and subscribe and share the video with anybody you think would find helpful. Did a 7-day drawing challenge in my sketchbook. My sketchbook number 1, and here are some tips for you if you're thinking of doing the same thing. So I started on July 21st. This was my first page. What I used to think is that I used to treat my sketchbook kind of like a portfolio, and every page had to be really good. And for context, I make art and sell commissions of people's homes. So this felt like a fail to me. So this was day 1 of my 7-day streak. That pressure makes it hard to even start. And I'd avoid doing it because I didn't want to mess up. But so on day 1, this felt like it wasn't very good, but I just kept going anyways. And then on day 2, I was trying to figure out what to draw. A big problem for me is what to draw. And I think for a lot of you is also what to draw. So on day 2, I just sat in my backyard and I drew what I could see. But another tip is I told myself just show up and make something, even if it's bad. So just showing up. A lot of more experienced artists will tell you that a big difference between what they do in their experience and what beginners do is we tend to just think about art when we're newer at it, and more experienced artists, they actually sit down and make art a habit. They make it a practice every single day. Some days I have energy and ideas, like I knew what I wanted to sketch on this day, and some days I have no energy and I don't know. So I just did more of my garden. This is the same day. So this was day 2. And then on day 3, I saw somebody took a photo. So Dorothea Hooper of Hooper Shooters, but she posted a picture of some flowers, and this, I still feel like this wasn't very good. So over time, I started caring more about the process than the outcome. So this one, as I went, I was learning more and more. This took a long time to do, and I was set up outside on a really hot day, and I just realized I didn't really want to spend that much time doing it. So I enjoyed doing this, but I decided after day 3 that I was going to just make it easy and do it in a comfortable space. So this was day 4. When I sort of started kind of letting go of the idea of it being perfect. So I was just laying in bed and I glanced over at my dog and he was laying down and I thought he was adorable. So I wrote a little blurb about him. And, you know, it's imperfect. There's a lot of mistakes here. It's not very accurate, but I just kept going. And then, so this was the following day, I went to a barbecue. We go to this charity barbecue every year, and I met a little girl that loved dinosaurs, and we had hot dogs and hamburgers, and I just had fun with it. So, you know, it's not very accurate. The perspective isn't good, but that was the next day. And then the following day, I was walking down the street, and somebody was picking plums from their plum tree, and they gave me some plums. So by this time I had let go of the perfectionism, and I feel like my art actually got better because I let go of the perfectionism. The big lesson is that you need to let go of perfection, because even this is probably my favorite drawing of the 7 days, and it still is super imperfect. There's a ton of mistakes, but they just become part of the page and not something that you need to fix. They just become part of the eccentricity of it. And I feel like as I went through this week, I started sort of discovering a style that I like, that I want to continue doing. And I noticed I was experimenting a lot more. I was trying new styles and ideas. I was mixing different colors here with my watercolor, and I was using, typically when I'm doing watercolor, I often use like my regular brushes, but I wanted something more portable. I've been using my brush pen a lot more and getting more comfortable with it's the one with the barrel inside, or the water inside the barrel. So the sketchbook, use your sketchbook as a creative playground. It's not a place for your polished work. It's a place to explore. So this was supposed to be a self-portrait. I was watching Star Trek, and I decided to draw myself as a Borg. You know, jotted down some thoughts about how much I love sci-fi. So it's just a place to explore your ideas and your thought process. Once I stopped judging the result, I started having a lot more fun. It's just a great low stakes way to stay connected to your creativity and to kind of observe what your thoughts are throughout the day. It really made me reflect on like what happened or what I was planning to do on any specific day. So this was a neighbor I had never met before, and the peaches were delicious. It was kind of a really nice moment of connection in my neighborhood. So it really helped me reflect on that. And then, you know, all the people at the barbecue. It's just sort of a way to, it's kind of like a gratitude practice. It unintentionally became a gratitude practice for me. And then this is past the 7 days, and wait till you see these ones because this one is terrible. I will show you this next week when I continue my streak. Something I also did this week as part of it was I started, if I had a little extra time and I still wanted to create, I added little bits of each page to the cover. I also numbered it. I've never numbered sketchbooks before. I highly recommend doing this because this just feels different. It's a lot of fun. And I feel like this is, now that I have numbered them, I can look back on them as a time in my life. So I dated them and I numbered them. And then, you know, for my barbecue, I might even color these in some more. There's just a bottle of pills. I just was adding little bits to the cover, and I'll continue to do that. And then I'll add some color later. So you don't need to make great art. You just need to make art. That's it. You just need to sit down and stop thinking about it and start doing it. That's it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Use your sketchbook as a private place to really get messy and curious and observe and just free your creative expression. I highly encourage you to start your own 7-day challenge. And I'm going to be doing a video with some prompts to help you get started with your 7-day challenge. But for now, you can look around the house and you can just look at what's around you and draw what's around you. It doesn't need to be complicated, and it doesn't need to be a big scene. You can zoom in. Like I could zoom in and paint this little corner here, and that's it. I could paint my sketchbook. It's very simple. Start your own 7-day challenge, not to impress anybody, but to reconnect with your own creativity in a messy way. If you want to join me on this journey, please like and subscribe and share the video with anybody you think would find helpful.